Welcome to Daily Conversation. This is Mr. K.
This is Eric.
Yeah, today is the 12th of December 2021, and the time now is 6:15 a.m. Well, today our topic is discuss the things you should never say to your partners. Well, before we get started, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, so here we go. Yeah, so for this topic, I have think of uh three things that we maybe should never say to our partners. And the first one is never say break up during arguments. Yeah, for this one, yeah, to be mentioned, it is when during arguments, when we have an argument, and then I think maybe we more or less maybe we are angry at that time at that moment, and then we are more emotional, and then we couldn't assure that we say something um, that we would regret later. So in that case, I think the word breakup is very hurtful, and it shouldn't be said in an argument. And even if you wanted to say it, maybe after the argument, after you have uh, really calmed down, and then after you have made the decisions, uh, and then that's the time for you to say, instead of saying in an argument. Yeah, I believe that if you really want to break up, uh, it is not too late. Like maybe after 1 day after the argument, 2 days after the argument. Yeah, that it is not something like too late, and then you have to say it immediately. So I think this is something that we should never say. And yeah, just now also say it is very hurtful. And once you say it, actually it maybe make your relationship uh, more fragile or what. Yeah, and this is the first one, and the second one is I think we maybe should never talk about our ex relationship uh, to our partners if our partner doesn't really want to know. Yeah, so in this case, maybe it's like you open up a topic and then talk about your own previous relationship, your ex relationship, your ex partners. Yeah, I think this is not a good topic, and because it is very sensitive. Yeah, and two reasons here. The first, maybe uh, your partner may misunderstand your intention. Yeah, when you started a topic like that, and then say to talk about your ex relationship, uh, it could be like maybe they would think, are you making, are you trying to make a comparison? Yeah, a comparison between your ex and her. Yeah, this is not good, and some misunderstanding can occurs. And the second reason is like if you talk about your ex relationship, maybe it is uh, very likely to be a wrong expression to your partner. For example, maybe she would think you still haven't put down your previous relationship, and then it is still kept in your mind, and then you still remember so well. Yeah, these kind of things, even though maybe that wasn't the things that you want to express, wasn't your intention, but yeah, sometimes just too sensitive, and then easily easily make people misunderstand. Yep. And however, I think if uh, if you and your partner are open enough, and then if your partners really want to know, and then know more about you and keep asking you, maybe yeah, you think you can tell her something. Yep. And this is not like taking the initiative. This is like people really want to know. Yeah. And the last one is I think never criticize something uh, that cannot be changed easily. Yeah, for this one, examples is like maybe appearance, maybe the height of your partner. Yeah, maybe like you're too short, or I don't like your maybe chubby face. Something like that is kind of like couldn't be changed easily. And yeah, I think uh, in a relationship, sometimes we just want kind of like a sense of security. This is something that we hope to get. We hope to get from your partner. We need support, and something too direct could be hurtful, and something couldn't be changed easily. Make people feel sad, and then maybe uh, the the disadvantage is greater than the advantage. Maybe you really want her uh, to maybe lose weight. Yeah, and then but there is another way. For example, you should focus on the intention that keeping fit is for healthy. Yeah, and instead of starting from uh, like the appearance, whether you like it or not. And yeah, I think this is not a good way. But when our intention is about health, and then the benefits of exercise, yeah, I think that may be a better starting point to talk about this. Yeah, so yeah, these are the things that I can think of for the topic today.
Mm. Yeah, my first one is very similar with you. Say the some notes, say the break up, and yeah, just like you say, I totally agree with you. We shouldn't say break up.
Mm,
Uh, and yeah, some couple like to use like break up as kind of like the joking or kind of uh like prank the counterparty,
mm,
and this is not a good thing. Yeah, so not only when when you and your partner have a fight, have arguments, and you shouldn't say the breakup because you are not in a rational stage. You are in a more towards the emotional stage, so that uh, say something like this may hurt the relationship, and also try not to use this kind of sensitive uh, sentence, sensitive topic to make a joke, to prank
mm,
your partner. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And this is the first one. And yeah, and actually, uh, your third point is really good. Yeah, and don't criticize some something that couldn't change or couldn't easily to change. Yeah, and uh, yeah, yeah. But actually, I still have I still have mm, some question about that. But
Mm,
let me
yeah.
finish my second point first before ask you the question. Yeah, and my second point is uh, don't always and try to limit the short response. So the short response, for example, the yes, no, okay, no, okay, something, something like that, and without giving any explanation, especially uh, when you uh, okay, uh, when you ask your partner do something,
Mm.
yeah, and you at least you can tell him or her the reasons, yeah, so that they know uh uh they know why you want them to help uh you. And also another case, which is your partner asks you to do something,
Mm.
yeah, or maybe your partner asks you something, and then you reluctant to reply, so you just reply yes, no, okay, no, okay, something like that,
Mm.
and give a very, very short answer. Yeah, for example, uh let's say for example, uh okay, your partner asks you, uh let's say your partner asks you what to eat.
Mm.
Maybe this is a very, very common uh questions, and yeah, and normally your answer, I don't know, yeah, no idea, yeah,
Whatever.
however, yeah, so this is not a good, this is not the uh good response, I would say.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, or maybe the partner asks you uh how's going on, and you reply nothing. How was your job? You today you look quite unhappy,
Mm.
and what happens? You reply nothing. Yeah.
No, I'm
So,
fine.
yeah, yeah. So it's this kind of short response without any explanation, and uh, it's kind of like you are closing the communications.
Mm.
You are not open the communications. Yeah, and yeah, but sometimes we really don't want to talk anything. We just want to uh uh stay alone. And yeah, and this is okay. And first, this is something that you need to communicate with your partner if you have this kind of inclinations. Sometimes you like to stay alone, yeah, and so you communicate with them so that they know that sometimes you need some space. You also need some time for yourself. So you communicate with them, and then they know that. So after that, when the times when the times comes, and then you say, yeah, okay, I'm fine, or maybe let me stay alone. I want to, yeah, I want to stay alone. I
Mm.
want to think something. I don't want to talk this moment. Yeah, I have something to I have a lot of things in my mind, and at this moment, I don't want to talk. I just want to think. Yeah,
Mm.
so it's okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, mm, if without the communications, and even though uh you give the explanation, but all the times, and also uh after many times, your partner will also feel that uh mm, maybe feel insecure, or maybe feel they their their kind their kindness being rejected by you.
Mm.
Yeah, this kind of feeling. So feel less and less uh, desire to care about you. Yeah. So it also will like kind of like hurt the relationship. Mm. Yeah. So this is my second point. And one thing I want to ask you is, why if because just now you talk about, for example, uh, let's say you want your partner to lose weight, and
mm,
then uh, maybe a better solution is don't criticize their weight, their appearance, and discuss with them about the health.
mm,
Yeah, if the value is different, for example, the health in their mind is different from you, and also what if uh the first is they define health differently. They define health they don't have any problem nowadays.
mm,
Yeah, they don't have disease. Yeah, and or maybe they know health is important, but they just don't want to uh focus on it. Yeah, this is quite common. Although it is you may think it is kind of like unreasonable, but it's not. For example, many people think money is important, but they rather stay at home and lay on the bed uh, instead of going out to earn money.
mm,
Mm. Yeah, so yeah, some people say healthy body is important, but they just don't like to do exercise. Mm. They
mm,
just like to eat the foods they want to eat. For example, junk food. For example, they like to drink the soft drink. They like to drink high sugar the the soft drinks or the drinks that contain high sugar. They like to eat the foods that contain high fat. Yeah, they just like it. Mm.
mm.
Yeah. So this is the question.
Um, yeah, I think this is really difficult when people themselves don't think it is a problem, and it is like if you keep if you keep asking them to do something uh, which is go against what they want to do. Yeah, it's a very difficult thing, and yeah, maybe I would I would try to uh, um, maybe uh, involve ourselves and then to do the activities with them. Also we can like try to choose some activities they like. Maybe they don't like jogging, maybe they like let's say playing badminton, or maybe they like some other activities like swimming or what, and maybe you can do it together, or maybe they like dancing, and maybe they like yoga or what. um yeah, exercise there are many types, and uh if you are if you and your partners can like to do the same activities together, I think maybe that is another uh, kind of like motivation to get your partner to do something.
Mm.
And maybe after doing for a few weeks, maybe she also feel like, oh, actually exercise, maybe after doing exercise she feel maybe like energetic, or she feel relaxed. Maybe she could find some of the benefits of exercise that she can feel. And yeah, I think that maybe this is something like some ways we can try. Maybe she doesn't like maybe she doesn't like playing badminton, and maybe you can change next time another activities. And yeah, don't force them too much, because firstly in their mind they actually don't like doing exercise. And uh, the other way maybe can start from uh, the thinking. I mean the mindset, which is like maybe uh, you can talk to your partner and then read the book together, or maybe like just you read the book and then maybe you share a little bit with your partner what you have read, and yeah, just a little by a little, maybe slowly and slowly, uh, to try to um, uh, let her know more about the benefits of exercise. This is another way, and the third I can think of is if let's say exercise is not a very it's not easy uh, to be accepted by her. Let's say you have tried many activities she still doesn't like. Maybe you have tried telling her about the benefit of exercise, but maybe she feels uh, she just feel annoyed when listening to all this kind of advice. Maybe you can try the third way I can think of, which is directly change the activity. Yeah, I mean not doing exercise. Okay, and just put this aside first. Maybe you try other ways like healthy diet, or maybe you try to learn how to cook some healthy diet, how to prepare healthy breakfast, and then you prepare it for her. And of course, you don't rush too much. Like suddenly change the breakfast to maybe uh, uh, to to vegetarian, and then that is a radical change. Maybe change little by little. Maybe you started to prepare yogurt, and then maybe after a few weeks you prepare maybe a new dishes. Yeah, I think this is another way to look at the health.
Mm. Yeah, very good point. At the same time, there's one limiting factor, which is time, your time and her or his time.
Yeah.
When we talk about exercise, when we talk about changing habit, eating a healthier food, the uh, there are two limiting factors, which is money and time.
Mm.
And also, if I could think a lot, but the third one uh uh is also a critical one, which is the energy, your energy level.
Mm.
And yeah, and let me ask you one question: how much time you spend on exercise each week or each day?
um each day I think in average if I break it into average per day, it is like maybe uh not more than 10 minutes.
But what exercise you referring?
um Basically right now I've learned to do yeah, I don't know what to call this. Maybe it's like uh uh which is that is called uh 健身气功 in Chinese. Yeah, and
What?
then
What?
that is something like tai chi,
Oh, okay.
but that is not that kind, but it's very similar. And then yeah, I think maybe that is not enough. I mean the intensity is not enough compared to like maybe you go cycling, you go jogging. So actually I spend quite little time doing exercise in these few months. Yeah,
Uh,
but
uh,
for
can,
the
can you repeat? Can you repeat the exercise name? Because I'm trying to search it
it
before.
is in Chinese it is 八段锦.
Oh yeah. Oh, I heard it before. Okay.
Yeah, because if I try to do it every day, just like meditation.
Mm.
So basically I won't miss. Maybe in a week I will do like 6 times, or if really I I didn't do it well, maybe 5 times at least a week. So I follow the video. So the video is the length of the video is like 11 minutes. So I
Yeah,
think
I know.
mm,
I do this. I did this before. Mm.
mm. Yeah, yeah, but I think if you really say exercise, maybe this may not be enough for the just like I say, the intensity. Let's
Yeah.
say
To
people
me, this
like
is
to.
not yeah. To me, this is not an exercise, unfortunately.
Yeah. Because exercise, we also have the topic before, right? Maybe we need to do something to increase our heartbeat, to like how many percent? 70% of your normal heartbeat, right?
Yeah, metabolize yourself,
Yep,
metabolize
yep.
your body. Yeah,
Mm, yep.
yeah. And just now you want to say another one, right? About the diet, is it or maybe not?
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So no, I mean yeah, I mean just now I disrupt your last sentence, but it seems like you want to say uh s- some other some other things. I'm not sure whether it is diet or not, or you just want to continue to rephrase the exercise part.
Oh yeah. It's about the exercise, but I know, I
Oh,
think now it's clear because you have tried that exercise.
yeah. Mm, yeah, and also another question is, yeah, I also did the exercise, but now I also did some yoga, but this is just a few minutes and 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes yoga, 10-minute exercise, physical exercise in the morning, but the intensity is also not that strong,
Mm,
and your body uh will adapt it very rapidly. And the question is, do you think it will help on maybe on your weight if you want to lose your weight or you want to like build the muscle? Do you think it will help?
yeah, by doing 八段锦, I think
No,
it is.
yeah, I mean not only that, for many other exercise.
Oh,
Yeah, if you can't like you not spend enough time in doing
mm,
that. Yeah, or you not going to gym room
mm,
and try to use some I mean to add the pressure on your body to use
mm,
the weight on
yeah.
yourself. And can you really build the muscle? Or maybe
Um,
you really like if you want to lose your weight, if
mm,
you or maybe even though you want to improve your health, but this is subjective. Yeah,
mm, yeah.
and uh I would say I'm still skeptical about doing maybe 5 minute, 10 minute exercise per day.
Mm,
Get skeptical about the impact about the impact of the of like short duration exercise on your body health.
mm,
Yeah, of course you may say, yeah, uh less accumulate become more, and maybe there is not things not the thing is not work like that.
mm, yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I think if the time is not long enough, the intensity is not great enough. I think the things that you build is not your muscle. It is maybe a habit. And if you have built the habit, and then also you have the awareness that you have to increase the intensity, the length of the exercise. I think this is a good ways to start. To start doing exercise as the purpose to maybe lose weight and gain health. Gain health.
mm. Yeah, and also one another thing, maybe doing 10-minute exercise is good for your body. Yeah, better than nothing, right? But how about the impact? Is it significant or insignificant? We don't know.
Mm,
Mm.
yeah.
And also, yeah, because just now our objective is kind of like wants our partner to lose weight. Yeah. So uh, I'm very doubtful about whether this can help on that. Mm.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is a time, time limiting factor. We also money, we also for energy. And also nowadays, yeah, uh, if okay, let's say if somebody wants you to exercise 30 minutes to 1 hour per day, are you able to do that? Even though for you,
For me, yeah, it's very difficult.
yeah,
Yeah, sometimes even you have time, you feel really tired. You feel not in the mood doing exercise.
mm, yeah. So this is a problem. And yeah, exercise is it's just one of the problem, one of the things. You could have many. For example, spending habit. For example, money management or
Mm,
ethics. Yeah. So it's not that easy. I would say. Yeah, but
mm,
of course, something difficult doesn't mean that we wouldn't try to communicate.
mm,
But the implication here is this is not something that simple as we think. Yeah, even though we don't criticize their parents and we want to help them, it is not that easy.
mm. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, for example, mm, yeah, and it actually linked to a link to another thing, which is not 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 about what to say or what not to say. It's also about how to say. Just now you mentioned also, yeah, is something that you shouldn't say. That if uh, but if you but if it's important, and you may change the way to say the thing. Yeah, and also uh, you may uh, you may not say it directly, but you may say it indirectly, or maybe some you don't say all the things you want to say in in within a few minutes, kind of
Mm,
like criticize them. You split it into very minor part and tell your partner, yeah, where there's an opportunity.
mm,
It's kind of like teaching a child. Yeah. Uh, you teach your child in real life. You don't teach your child in theory.
mm,
So when where there is an opportunity, you show to your child, wow, you see, yeah. So we shouldn't do this, something like that. Kind of like give him a small lesson and that reinforce their uh their belief or their value. Yeah. And also one another thing which is about uh share of value. Yeah. For example, if you think investment is important, or if you say of you if you think saving is important, but your partner is not the type of person, yeah,
mm.
it's not a saver, it's not an investor, quote unquote investor. Yeah, and do you face any similar problem?
Yeah, actually, yes.
In which area is it investment or saving or some other?
Um, I think it's saving.
Oh,
Mm, yeah,
mm,
and then yeah, I know it is yeah, easy to say that we need to buy the things that we need instead of the things that we want. Yeah, but yeah, I know I think this is kind of like easy said than done.
mm,
And yeah, sometimes I told her that, oh, you shouldn't buy that things, or uh, you should focus on your need. And then but it seems like uh I maybe uh yeah, I think she and also we should save more, but she uh doesn't care so much about saving.
mm. Yeah, and did you share the reason why we need to save money? Okay.
Mm,
What I mean is, I think, yeah, because you talk about the saving, and uh, I'm not sure, but I think your girlfriend uh has no any interest on investment, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because people is not a saver, definitely they won't have any interest on investment.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, sorry, what's my question just now? Is regarding the saving. I forget already. Do you still remember?
Um.
You talk about the needs, you talk about
Ah.
one, and you talk about the easier said than done. And I say something, but I forget already.
Um. Initially, you asked me whether I faced some
Oh,
uh
yeah, yeah, yeah.
different
Share
value of.
share the value.
Mm,
Share why we should save money. Yeah.
mm. Um. Yeah. For this one, of course, I've said some basic reason like saving is maybe important. We need to save like a few months living cost. For example, maybe 6 months living cost. Uh, just in case that we maybe lose our job or what, we need it emergently.
Yeah, but that's bullshit, right? I learned this few years ago, but I still keep hearing people saying that.
Mm,
I always think this is bullshit. If you need to save up to 6 months emergency uh money before you can start investment or do something else, this is very difficult. Yeah, and yeah, because once you start to do investment, it's uh I couldn't say like that. Sorry, I couldn't say like that. But the key point is not the saving. I mean, in my humble opinion, the key point
mm,
is not saving. The key point is about the budgeting. Yeah, it's about the planning your planning your saving. Is not is not save the money. It's plan how much you can save, and this money, uh yeah, because we are not work for money.
mm,
Even though I give you 1 billion, but I tell you you couldn't spend it in your whole life, what is the meaning of having that 1 billion,
mm.
right?
Yeah.
So, our focus is maybe our well-being. We want to become better off, and then why we save? Because we save money so that we can reduce uncertainty, and then when we reduce uncertainty, we can see more opportunity, and when we have more opportunity, and we may not have the ability to grab those, but we are uh but we have the chance to grab those opportunities. Yeah, and if you luckily grab opportunities, and then you may increase your well-being in longer term. So uh you do not need to always work for your current self. Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
yeah. So uh it's also very difficult to kind of like to to share the value, or to kind of like make people understand in a few minutes. Yeah, it requires a not long conversation. Long conversation is bad for that. Yeah,
mm,
and uh yeah, just like what I say, we still need to communicate, but split it into many minor parts, and like teaching a child
mm,
and share the idea where there is an opportunity.
mm. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Uh. Yeah. About the investments, I think maybe I doing. quite good, but I shouldn't say that, because my girlfriend, mm, yeah, she she has some investment, but it is like the mutual fund.
Mm.
She don't have any experience handling her portfolio. Yeah, and when she has money on hand, she'll spend in the past. And yeah, but now she is okay. This one I'm not sure, and she she kind of like start to develop the ability to hold the to hold the investment through a tough period. Yeah, start start slowly to develop it. Yeah, yeah, because you know, investment is not just you put money and then it's just that easy. Uh, it have a lot of mental tasks you need to deal with. Yeah, and how do you balance the cash? How to balance your portfolio? This is also another thing, and you need to have the self awareness. This part I think she's not she's still bad on that. Uh, yeah, but because I keep telling her, I keep sharing, and uh, every time she say, yeah, well, the price look like uh uh the market look like great. How about I invest more? How about I put more money? And then I'll say, what if you put the money and buy the price at here, and then it drop 50% later, it drop 20% later, it drop 30% later?
Mm.
How will you feel? How would you what would you do? Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of like this conversation repeats, I think, more than 5 times. Always have this conversation. Yeah, yeah. So uh but she's still in loss. Overall, she's still in loss.
Mm.
Mm, yeah, but this is something that couldn't rush because investment required time to realize the result.
Mm.
And I also couldn't ensure whether my investment is good or bad. Mm. And also, one big problem is she don't spend time to understand what she invests. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, and this is something that I also keep telling her. Yeah, but because it required deliberate learning, so yeah, this is a bit difficult.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, yeah, easier said than done. Mm. Yeah, okay, so yeah, uh, anything you want to mention regarding the saving? Any
Um,
new thought about it?
um, yeah, I think there is a little do with the so-called delay satisfaction. I'm not sure whether I
Yeah,
used the
yeah,
term correctly.
delay
Uh,
satisfaction or delay gratification.
yeah.
Mm.
So which is like when you hold the money, then maybe you couldn't wait to spend it, to buy something you want, to do something you like to do.
Mm.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and also just now you talk about you need to save we need to save up to 6 month emergency funds to cover
Mm-mm.
our living costs. I means do you have do you do you have enough saving to cover 6 months living costs?
I think right now maybe it is very close to that. For my savings right now.
Yeah. But do you take into consideration of the reasons price in of the reasons inflated price?
Uh, Oh, you means taking into account the inflation nowadays?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. I mean, did you aware the inflation nowadays is quite crazy, especially in Malaysia, or maybe it is not the case. I mean, it didn't happen in your area.
Um, for me, because I don't pay rental, I don't rent house, and I can't feel. And for other things like foods, and then maybe yeah, basically it's foods. Yeah, I heard people say a lot, and also I can feel it.
Yeah. How many percentage change for in your perspective? I mean,
Um,
compare now maybe with 2020 last year or few months ago.
I think for foods ingredient like vegetables, and maybe we look at eggs, and then yeah, I think maybe it increased like more than 10%.
Mm, yeah. How about how about your food? Did you eat outside or you cook for yourself or your so lucky your mother or family uh, help you cook and help you pay for that?
Um, for this one, right now actually my house we are actually we are quite how to say um because we care about the virus. I think it's a little bit go to extreme. For my house, we actually don't eat out. Uh, we cook basically, and then also we still take away. We still buy the foods from outside from restaurant. But after we buy the food, we take it back, and then we try to like put it into the pot, and then like steam it, yeah,
Yeah.
to make it uh to warm to warm up the dishes, so that we think I don't know, we think maybe this is a way uh to to keep our foods free of virus.
Yeah, I mean,
And mm,
do you pay for your food?
so in this case, so I don't pay for my food.
Mm,
Um yeah, I don't pay for my food because previously I will go out and then buy some foods, and then maybe for my lunch, for my dinner. uh and nowadays we basically just bring it all back home, and then I'm not the person to buy the food, so it's my mom.
Yeah, and just now you say your saving uh is almost able to cover 6 months living cost.
Mm,
I'm sure that you didn't include the rental cost because just now you mentioned already.
mm.
And how about the food? Did you include? I mean, uh, are you using the current
Oh,
current
current expenses,
living
right?
current expenses to calculate the 6 month living cost, or are you using like 1 or 2 years ago that the time you need to spend on food, you need to spend on transportation, and use it to calculate your your coverage?
I actually use around 2003, because I remember that in previous conversation I did some calculation about my expenses. At that time, it is higher than that. It is like 2005 or 2006.
Mm.
But nowadays, I actually travel less. So for the transportation cost, I don't spend a lot. So I just reduce like 200 or 300 from that.
Mm. Yeah. Uh, yeah, but one thing, I'm not sure whether you're aware that you already disclosed your saving.
Mm-mm, yeah,
Yeah,
never mind. Just I know
yeah,
that
mm,
not
yeah,
much.
yeah. I mean, No, I mean, you already disclosed your saving amount.
Yeah. I'm totally aware of it.
Uh, uh, yeah, I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, that could be a problem. I
Mm.
mean, yep. I mean, for me, if you ask me whether I have enough saving to cover 6 month living costs, I would say yes. Yeah, I would say yes. Yeah,
Mm.
but recently I transferred uh most of my money back to Malaysia because we have new law actually, which is uh after 2022, whenever we we remit we remit our money back to Malaysia, we need to pay tax. Yeah, I'm not sure whether you heard this
Oh.
before. Yeah,
Oh. Mm.
in the first 6 months, the tax rate is 3%. Yeah,
Yeah.
and after, because it's the gov the government say this is kind of like a transition period, so it give 3%, and after that it will increase. I'm not sure how much they'll increase. Yeah, and so we kind of like transfer our most of our money back to Malaysia before 2022.
Mm.
Yeah, and so if you look at my current saving in Sing dollar, yeah, it's very little, just like
Mm.
uh maybe 2 months only. Mm. Yeah, yeah, but my living cost is not very high in Singapore.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just my maybe my installments in Malaysia, car, house, uh, all the things add up together, utilities, yeah. So, and also insurance. Yeah, that also is uh it's not significant amount, but it's also relatively uh relatively mm, big portions compared to my living cost in Singapore. Yeah,
Mm.
so because I actually prepare. Yeah, last time I calculate, I now my Malaysian bank account have 3 years. Yeah, able my saving in my money in Malaysian bank account are enough to cover 3 years installments. Yeah, so so they will be very enough. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, but if you add in the insurance, all that, I think maybe 2 years. Yeah, maybe two year will be enough. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Just now you say
yeah.
remit back the money, right,
Mm.
to Malaysia. How do they define it? For
Okay,
example, if
income.
you go back and
Uh,
then you take the cash back.
yeah, it's also could be defined. You bring back the money. So how they define is you earn the income in foreign country,
Mm.
no matter what country,
Yeah.
and this is an income. So that means this is a foreign source income, and you
Mm.
bring the money back into Malaysia. Yeah, you bring the money
Okay.
back into Malaysia, so you need to pay the tax. Mm.
Mm. So how about you use the money, let's say, to buy something, Shopee
No,
in Malaysia?
uh, uh, okay. Oh, you means let's say I buy something, and send to my JB house, and then but I use Sing dollar to pay. Is it like that?
Ah, yeah, you can think of like you go to Shopee, Malaysia website of Shopee. You buy something and the things delivered to your mom's house.
Uh, do I use Malaysian ringgit to pay, or do I use
You use
Sing
maybe
dollar?
you use your this you have a bank account in Singapore, right? So maybe
Yeah.
you use your bank card. So
Mm,
will they charge on
yeah.
the card?
Okay. Theoretically, is also it is also should pay the tax because you transfer the money back to Malaysia. So it's kind of like you transfer the money back to Malaysia and then you spend it. Yeah, it's also like uh hey, wait a minute, I'm not sure. Hey, for this part I'm not sure because uh the law is something like the foreign source income, okay, the foreign source income received in Malaysia, okay, received in Malaysia. And if you spend it, I'm not sure how they define,
Mm.
but try to think in another way. If you want to use your uh, you have a big amount of money, and then you want to buy a house or buy a car, and you pay by using your Sing dollar
Yeah.
instead of using Malaysian ringgit that's already in your Malaysian bank account.
Mm.
Will you need to pay the tax? I would say yes. Yeah, I would say yes. Mm.
Mm.
So theoretically, you need to pay the tax even
Mm.
in this case. Yeah,
Yeah.
but because this is too difficult to track. Yeah, for governments, they won't spend time on that. And yeah, this also is also I think it's also the bad law. This is a very very bad taxation law because for governments, they are very difficult to track. Yeah, and yeah, and also for individual, we also very difficult to prove. Mm, yeah,
Mm. Yeah.
but we still have some methods. We still have some methods to kind of like uh avoid the tax legally. I mean, it's legally.
Mm.
Yeah, because now the law is the Malaysian tax residents need to pay the tax if their foreign source income received in Malaysia. So the key point here is actually there are a few key points. The first is foreign source income. So that means income will be taxed, but
Mm.
gain, capital gains will not be taxed. Yeah, but of course, uh, let's say you you earn a lot of money in Singapore through the investment, but you bring the money back to Malaysia. Uh, First you need to prove which portion is investment, which portion is income. This
Mm.
is very hard to do.
Yeah.
And if you couldn't prove it, and then the Malaysians will tell you, okay, so of this, yeah, of this amount will be treated as income. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So so this is the first. The income is taxed, but the gain is not taxed. But and the second is the Malaysian tax resident. How not to become Malaysian tax resident is a big part in avoiding the tax. Mm. Yeah,
Mm.
definitely I know how to do. Yeah. So I think I don't need to pay tax, but I still need to prepare some
Mm.
documentation to prove myself I'm not tax resident.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just now you say, in the transition period, it is around 3%, is it?
Yeah. But
So how about
yes. Uh,
the expected percentage after the transition period?
what?
Yeah, are they going to increase the percentage of
Of
tax
course.
they charge after that?
Of course. Yeah. Of course. And
Mm.
I read one article. It seems like it will according to the income tax. It's something like that.
Oh.
Maybe or maybe uh like like the rate is similar to maybe rental income or some other income. Yeah, maybe it's not the employment income, but maybe they have a fixed rate or they have the progressive tax rate
Mm.
similar to the personal tax. Yeah, I'm not sure, but it seems like uh, uh, the tax rate will not be low. Yeah, it's kind of like up to 24%. Yeah, it's progressive. I think it's progressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they are very smart. Because they say they didn't tax your income. So if they tax your income, if they tax your foreign source income, so that means they involve in double taxation. Yeah, because now we earn income in Singapore, we need to pay the income tax to Singapore government. Malaysia cannot tax it because this is not earned from Malaysia, it's earned in Singapore. But Malaysians didn't tax the income. This is not income tax. This is kind of like the remittance tax. You bring the money back into Malaysia and then they tax you. Yeah. The criteria is the foreign source income. Yeah. So, but this also is one of the key points allow us to avoid tax. So that means we earn a lot of money in Singapore, and as long as we don't bring back to Malaysia, we don't need to pay the tax. Yeah, and regarding the gain, yeah, we have few methods. That means, but this is very difficult. Normally, how to conduct. It also involve a judgment about the fluctuation of the investment vehicle. Let's say, for example, if you think that Bitcoin will go up 100%, yeah, and then you put in 100 Malaysian ringgits in Bitcoin, and then you use maybe 3,300 3,300 Sing dollar, or an equivalent amount to 10,000 Malaysian ringgits. Yeah, so the money is the same, and then but you use a 3,000 3,000 plus Singapore dollar amount to short the Bitcoin. So that means you are risk neutral. Risk neutral, that means you didn't gain anything when Bitcoin rise. You didn't lose anything when Bitcoin drop. But if Bitcoin go up 100%, your 10,000 Malaysian ringgit become 20,000 Malaysian ringgit, and this is capital gain, right? Yeah, and in Singapore account you lose half of your money, of course. You also lose a 10,000 Malaysian ringgit equivalent, right? Yeah, so that means you had transferred 10K from Singapore to Malaysia, but through the capital gain. Interesting.
Yeah.
But it involves judgment.
So, but maybe you have to believe that it will increase 100%, right? Or increase how many percent?
Yeah. So no, I mean, increase 10%. That means you have transferred 10% back to your back to Malaysia. If increase 50%, that means you successfully transfer 50% to Malaysia. Yeah, but if it drop 10%, it drop 50%, that means you doing opposite way. Yeah, so I mean, this involves judgment, and
opposite means we transfer money to Singapore, right?
Yes, right.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, so it's quite difficult to do that through capital gain. Maybe if you are in a bear market, it is maybe you don't need use Bitcoin, maybe you don't need use cryptocurrency, maybe you can use the company stock, for example, Tesla, for example, Apple, for example, Microsoft, it is very likely that it will rise back from a bear market. After recover from bear market. Yeah, so the certainty is high. Yeah. So that maybe you can use some leverage. Yeah, and yeah, yeah, I can find that nowadays every country kind of like is going to reduce to kind of like reduce the extent of the monetary policy, and also some country couldn't bear anymore. They kind of like want to increase the taxations, and then so they can maybe cover their deficits. Yeah, so we may have bear markets maybe in next year, or maybe start from this year. But it doesn't mean that you should withdraw all of your investment out of the market. Yeah, this is not a good way. This is not investment. It's speculation. But definitely you need to spare some of your money, and this is a time that you shouldn't put in too much money. You need to wait. Yeah. So you need to find a balance. That means if the market keep going up, you're happy because you have allocated enough money. You have allocated enough money into investments.
Yeah.
So you're happy. You will miss the trend. Yeah. But if the trend stop, or maybe the trend reverse, that means if there's a significant drop, so you have money, you also feel happy because now you can invest. You can invest more, and when the engine of the trend start running, and then the trend going up and then back to the same level, and then you have double your wealth. This is how investor earn money. It's not true. It's investor earn money is not in the bull market. Yeah, it's in the bear market. So after recover from the bear market, intelligent investor would normally would double or triple their wealth. Yeah, and then I would still do the dollar cost averaging. But if the market drop a lot, I will allocate more money in it. I have prepared significant portion of cash. Yeah, I hope it drop. Yeah. So this is how the real investment will be conducted. Okay. Yeah. Anything want to add?
Yeah. No.
Okay. So that's all for today's conversations. How do you feel? Did you enjoy the conversations? Please tell us what you think of our conversation. And we are not native speakers. If you found any vocabulary mistake that we make, please also comment to let us know, because we want to learn more and improve ourselves. Remember to subscribe to us. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.